Talon Wyatt hits the screen, got stories bold and keen. Old soldier, sharp and mean, tells truths they've never seen. Rugby lover with a roar, Africa flowing in his core. YouTube rants they can't ignore, his passion makes his heart soar. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Military mind, keen and wise, truths come out, no disguise. South African skies in his eyes, hear his voice, no surprise. Retired soldier with the fight, in the dark he brings the light. Angry rants, truths ignite, join the cause, join the ride. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Enemies knocked on his door, trolls attack, but he's more with each click. Watch him soar on the truth waves, he explodes. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Right now, don't miss the brawl.
Take a picture.
A land of gold sunsets and skies so blue, mountains whisper stories of dreams so true. From oceans roaring wild to valleys deep, a heartbeat of a nation that will not sleep. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people's above it all. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. People sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies, they weave, then weave. But we hold the truth in what we believe, believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall. For the power is the people above it all. We know.
Trading got you feeling like this? Losing your fur and your crypto? Yeah, manual charting is a beast. Makes you want to smash stuff. But wait, what's this shiny new toy? Could it be? One tap, screenshot, I trade. Go, magic box does the work. Boom, support, resistance, patterns, even a Yeti gets it. Suddenly, green candles everywhere winning, like a boss Yeti. Gronk's making bank, snowball stacking sats. The whole cave is rich.
Yes.
Stop raging, start trading smarter. Download iTrade AI Trading Assistant. Yeti approved, not financial advice.
So now they're crying over toys. Toys made in China. They say tariffs will ruin Christmas. I say good. Maybe it's time your kids learn where things come from. Not everything shows up in a box with a smile. We gave China our factories. They gave us cheap junk. Now we take it back. And if a few kids miss out on plastic garbage this year, blame the deals you voted for.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Good evening, good morning to all the Neanderthals, the canines, the right-wing podcasters, and all the aspiring car guards out there. It's still Friday the 13th. Woo! Friends and family only Fridays once again, and the friends and only family surprise was not only for the African National Congress and the Government National Unity this weekend, but also for Iran. Woo! What a PK Iran got, folks. What a PK Iran got. Ah, man. Yep. Sorry. I'm just trying to get something together here. All right, just putting together the thumbnail. I did a video earlier, which I just uploaded now. I've been very busy. I had to set up tomorrow's stream for Rugby Ascendant for the rugby, the URC Championship on my other channel. Got that done. I had to look up some paperwork for a bond covering our officers, and I have to be up at 5:30 so I can head off to Gettysburg for the state convention tomorrow. I missed it this week, but I will be there tomorrow morning. So there you go. Welcome back to the program, folks. Brett Sessoms is here. Brett, how's it going, man? Been donkey years. Are you well? Are you well, Brett? Keeping well? We just got to open up another window here because that one's acting up. So this video I'll release. Just got to make sure everything's there. Okay. 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 Yeah, looks like we're good. Okay, good. Got to put the monetary thing on here real quick, otherwise they won't show my video to anybody. As it is, they're not showing it to many people anyway. Viewership is dropping again. I guess things aren't that exciting. You think with the Iran war it would spike. Interesting. I know more about these conflicts than most of the people are so-called experts that are put on Fox News and CNBC and MSNBC. And these people have big audiences, yet when wars break out, like they did in Ukraine, and I was ahead of the war, reporting on it for months ahead of time and covered it the night that happened. Same thing with this war. Just don't get the views. Interesting. Anyway, I publish this publicly. It's telling me it's got 15 minutes, but screw YouTube. I'm not going to wait for it. So it's up now, the video, if you want to check it out when you're done here. Yep, talking about how quiet the ANC is becoming. Very silent they are. 93 people here, folks. Good morning, everybody. Let's say hello to folks. A Boiling Frog says, what's your opinion regarding Ibrahim Traoré president? I don't care about this moron in Burkina Faso. I really don't care about that guy. He's an illegitimate fascist who overthrew the government. I have no interest in military putsches. None here. I don't know why South Africans even talk about the guy. He has no importance whatsoever to Africa. Primal Boar, welcome to you. But people keep mentioning his name as if he actually matters. He's just a little toad who is insignificant. Corey Ward, welcome to you. Chris Ehlers, I hope you're better tonight. Pressed by Mossad, but bloody hell, where are they shining? Well, not just that. What about with the cell phone and the pager bombs? You know, that was unbelievable. That was the most incredible operational intelligence coordinated operations in the history of military and in intelligence operations. It was unbelievable. 787 Dreamliner, hello to you. Wesley DeClaire, Chris Stander, hello to you. Paladin, have gun, will travel. Welcome, Paladin. Debbie Kenny, hello from Texas. I'm new to the real truth, and thank God for all. Well, welcome, Debbie Kenny. Welcome to you. I used to have a student named Kenny. Didn't even know that was a name, but I had a student named Kenny when I was at Iowa State. Yep. She's a good student, too. Marius Filion, welcome to The World is Going Mad. The world is going mad. It absolutely is. So tonight, more idiots like Greta Thunberg, who are attempting to protest and support an ally with the terrorist in Gaza, were rudely greeted and tossed out on their ear by the Egyptians. They can't cry racism. The Egyptians did it. The hypocrisy of these nuts is coming through now. Finally, people can see it. Yeah, I have no confirmation the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad's been attacked. There's no reporting on that whatsoever. I'm not sure where that story is originating. It sounds like fake news to me. It's possible, but I've found no confirmation of that anywhere. Yep. North Korea is standing with Iran. Well, who cares about North Korea? They can't even float a ship. They sink their ship when they try to put it into the water. Blixen, that beard was long. Oh, yeah, it was. That's a while ago. It was all the way down to my navel at one point. Louis Luba, welcome to you. Rakes, Brett Sessoms is here. Always good to see Brett. Brett isn't been around much at all. So he and more in Ronaldo than I see him here. Hope you're well, Brett. Debbie Kenny got that Lone Star flag waving proudly there. Karen Long, welcome to you. Did I say hello to Gary? Graham Williams, the world needs more people like you. Well, yeah, but they're afraid to have people like me. You can't have honest, moral, caring people. My goodness, what would the world come to? We wouldn't need governments if we had caring, honest people who actually know what they're talking about. My goodness, what a concept that is. It's fascinating because when the news cycle was big a few weeks ago, suddenly everyone wanted to talk to me. Several people asked me to come to the program, and they've all just disappeared. They've all just kind of effed off, so whatever. Too bad for them. That's their loss, not mine. I have been on some programs recently. I've been on Biz News, also on Johan Ahler's program, a few others, so. Joe Free, welcome to you. And Cool Peace Song is back. Rebel Refugee, hello. Greta Hart. Alan Gill, Jack Up, Christian Demont. Okay, Iran are still being cocky. I see. Yeah, well, they won't be cocky for long. Keith Alderson is in from Coventry. There is an OG right there. Keith and I have met a couple of times. We had wonderful trips up that way. So who else we got here? Sedgefield, Petrus, Troico, Alfonso Ferreira, Karen Lang. By the way, Keith, I'll be back in your neighborhood. Not really in your neighborhood, north of you where the games are at, but I'll see if I can't swing by and link up with you at some point on my trip a few months from now, okay? All right, provided you lets me in the country. Petrus Funderlinda, welcome to you. Sedgefield is back. Lizzie Grayling, CB, there's an OG right there. CB, I do hope that you will be there for the Rugby Senate game tomorrow. Ooh, boy, come on, Bulls. Bulls got to pull it off. We need to win that second championship. Otherwise, we're just doormats for the URC championship game. ANC has made no statement, Dirk, and that's what the video I just made was all about. Just published this video, and that's exactly what it was all about. The fact that the ANC is strangely silent. Strangely silent. There's nothing on the ANC Twitter page. There's no press release. The South African media is not even covering the conflict. In fact, let me look and see if they've even talked about it. Last time I looked, it wasn't even a news report about it on News 24 the entire day. Yep, look at this. Complete news bracket. Oh, I hear one, finally. Iran fires fewer than 100 missiles at Israel. Okay, so they finally cover it. Yep. But yeah, that was, when did they cover this one? They covered this 7 hours ago. It took them almost a day before they did it. Yeah, so they finally covered the event. But yeah, but the ANC's had nothing to say, folks. Nothing to say. In fact, I'll give you a sneak peek of that, of what I just published. Let's get this up on the screen really quickly here, what I just published. So, Deafening ANC Silence is the name of my video. Just published it.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. This is Chris in central Pennsylvania. The Israeli Defense Force launched preemptive strikes against Iran's nuclear facilities, their key military and civilian leaders and scientists involved in their nuclear program, devastated Iran's air defense system, and had quite an impact on the nuclear program as well on the 13th of June, 2025. One of Iran's closest allies for many years has been the African National Congress in South Africa. When President Ramaphosa brought his delegation to the United States in May of 2025, it was a thoroughly embarrassing performance on the part of South Africa's politicians in the Oval Office. We saw Ramaphosa rudely interrupt President Trump and take a question that was intended for President Trump and then lecture President Trump. We also seen Ramaphosa lie about disavowing the statements of Julius Malema when we've seen videos of him in the past.
Anyway, you can watch that later on. So that's a video I recorded earlier today. I looked for a nice backdrop. That's a pretty nice spot there at the flowers out. But yeah, so I recorded that earlier and published it just a few minutes ago, just as we were going live. So that just went up. So, all right. Top 10s here. Alfonso Ferrer already said. Troiko Hawk, I missed you. Good morning from KZN. ANC will be silent because, the G7 summit, they want to beg. Yep. Also saying if they had no army to talk about. Oh, come on, Sanel. Come on. The South African National Defense Force has one qualified Gripen fighter pilot and 2 operational Gripens out of 24 that they purchased. They have no operational C-130s to my knowledge. They have, I think, 4 operational Oryx helicopters out of 48 or something like that. What do you mean no military? They have a military. They have at least a few hundred soldiers they could cobble together from multiple barracks to deploy, I don't know, somewhere. Come on, man. Come on. Christian Dimont says, very informative video you had with Johan Ahlers. Yeah, no, he kind of egged me on. I had a little fun with it. Yeah, Cyril must be worried where the money will come from now to pay his rent. Exactly. Iran has no money now. When people cut off their oil imports. Good morning, all. Was up all night till now. Haven't slept. Been fighting a hack on me. Lost a few accounts. Well, good Lord, Pat. Saved some of my emails, PayPal, and so on, but did lose a lot. How is this happening? I don't understand how this happens. A lot of South Africans, it seems to happen. You must have very poor cybersecurity in South Africa, folks. Protesting against Israel. Yeah, there's nobody in the streets of Tehran protesting against Israel. No, most of them are sitting on rooftops, eating popcorn, watching the missiles come in. Maddie, hello. Sorry I'm late. I had to get my coffee before I could even think of joining you live. Well, welcome to you. And Chris Herbst says, morning, Chris. Chris. Well, good morning to you as well. So it is now the 14th of June in South Africa, and it's getting close to the 14th of June here, but it's still Friday the 13th, and there's no Freddy Krueger anywhere in sight. Actually, Freddy wasn't Friday the 13th, was he? Yeah, he was. Halloween was Mike Myers, yeah. Friday the 13th was, yeah. Debbie Kenny says, damn, Trump needs you. Well, I agree, Debbie, but that call hasn't come, and somebody that's connected passed my name along. I also submitted a statement of interest for positions in the Trump administration, and the call has not come. But I can tell you that I do know that people in the Trump administration do know who I am, and people are watching my content. So thank you for watching. Anyway, people in Iran also waiting and hoping for change. Yes, Dirk, I think there are a lot of people in Iran that feel that way. Excited to see the military parade. Yes, tomorrow is, it was Jason in Friday the 13th. I'm saying it was Mike Myers in Halloween. I didn't want to mix up the two series. Tomorrow is the birthday of my Army, the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States Army, June 14, 1775. 250 years tomorrow, folks, and it's also Flag Day. I need to get out early in the morning and plant a bunch of flags in my front yard. Yep. Yes, so, that's a big day. We're having a parade, but it's going to be overshadowed by no King's displays of leftist hate wankers who are upset that Donald Trump is adhering to the rule of law and not to the leftist fantasies that these lunatics come up with. So they're going to have demonstrations about Trump being a king, but Trump isn't a king. He has 3.5 years in his term, and he'll leave office at the end of it. These people are stupid beyond belief. The thing is that they're so unpopular, and they just don't get it, or they just don't care. They're getting less popular by the hour. ANC's rumored taking of Iranian money to file a case against Israel. Yeah, look, I'm not buying that rumor. The ANC took money to pay their debt. They owed 148 million rand because of the 102 million rand plus the interest on that from a events company that they failed to pay from the 2019 election campaign. They just didn't pay them. So the sheriff of the high court went to Latuli House and inventoried their property. And just a few weeks after that, magically, after Naledi Pandor went to Tehran, they came back and probably a la boom shakalaka, just like money appearing in Cyril's magical mystery couch, his LSD-fueled, Pala Pala couch that just sprouts money. The ANC suddenly paid off 102 million rand. And then they had the 112th birthday celebration at Umbombela Stadium in Nelspruit, where they paid over 20 million rand for that big fete. And that was late 2024. And then suddenly, or 2023, and then suddenly in 2024, they came up with money. But the amount of money from Chancellor House and from the Bateau Trust and the other donors doesn't even come close to matching what they spent on the election. There are some very serious election financing investigations necessary. Let's start with the economic freedom fighters who have failed to provide any details on any donors, lying and claiming that nobody gives them money over whatever, 100 rand or something like that. And then, of course, the ANC's money needs to seriously be looked at. Yep. You are always up early, says Milo. No, I like to sleep in. I slept in this morning, but I don't get up. The Bargroff money will do well in the White House. Who started the Iran-Israel issue? Iran, 1979. That's who started it. Prior to that, Iran and Israel were friends. Iran had plenty of Jews, and the Jews and Muslims got along there very well in Iran for centuries. And no, it started with Iran, 1979. They started this mess. God bless America, says Debbie. Yes, indeed. Yaku von Wyk, I live in Utzhorn, where a big military base is. Yes, that is. Troops go to town. You can ask them why they're in the army. They say because the money there. Exactly. Not because they're proud of the country, not because they're patriotic, not because they want to make a difference in people's lives. Yes, not because they care about peace, but because they can't get a job. That's the quality of troops you have for the most part in the SANDF today, and it speaks volumes. It also explains why watching video clips of soldiers in SANDF firing wildly, just blindly into the air in the DRC explains how they're so easily overwhelmed by rebels who have discipline. Independent Electoral Commission seems to be good at elections, but I don't care about legal funding or parties. The IC is not good at elections. They consistently screw smaller parties because they know that they can outlast the smaller parties that don't have money for lawyers. But I won against the IEC when they denied the Forum for Democrats in Zayrust their seat on the municipal council based on proportional representation. They won a seat, and they gave that seat illegitimately to the EFF. It took 6 months in court cases, lawyers, and a non-government organization to get the Forum for Democrats their seat, but they got their seat. When I grow up, I want a beard like yours. You're 26. Well, Pat's Pat. I didn't grow a beard until I was past the age of 55 because I was in the Army, so no facial hair. The beard has become kind of a trademark, but it's time for it to go, I think. What is the chance of Caroline Leavitt being the next president? 0. She's 26 years old. She's not going to be president. She's also not that seasoned. Did you see about Cyril's stupid proposal for a national dialogue? Yeah, I saw that. I downloaded a couple videos on that, and I've just been so busy. There's no time to make all the videos. Also, the viewership has not been what it had been, when I was exciting there for a few months. It's really, it's still good, but it's really tamped down. Let me run through. So I have 110,000 views on a video from the 10th, which is the first time I had a 100,000 view video. Gosh, how long? Yeah. It was my first one in June. It's my only one in June. The previous one was May 31st. I have 147,000, okay, and 132,000 2 days before that. So, and 100,000 a day before that. So I was getting 100,000 view videos every day, every other day, which was awesome. Plus the prepared videos and the lives. But it's been slim pickings since then. I'm sure everybody here has been watching them. But for instance, earlier today, I have one that's got 4,000 views. The one before that has 4,500 views. Yeah. And then one before that has 17,000, 14,000, 31,000, 10,000, 14,000, 10,000, 19,000. While that'd be fantastic numbers for this channel back in December, given the size of the channel now, that's very low viewership. And it's not on a single topic. It's talking about this Mandela clown. It's talking about refugees, talking about the media in ANC, China, in Africa. Yeah, all kinds of different topics here. So, anyway, look, I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining to you that the numbers have dropped significantly. So I can't, you know, when people are watching the content, it fuels the energy and excitement to get you to do more stuff. And I was doing that. But I got lots of other obligations. So you can grow a mustache in the Army, but you're not looked at as a real man if you have a mustache. I used to grow a mustache after I arrived at a new duty station. You arrive clean shaven, and then grow it. So I looked older because I looked too young. I mean, I was in my 30s and people thought I was 18 years old. Kathy says, if it's to be, it will be. What's that? There might be a lot more views when there's more movement at the embassy. I don't think so. Mainstream media aren't watching anymore. Too much reality check for them. Luiki Bruma says, reading Prophet Isaiah mentions expropriation of property, house to house, state. What am I drinking? Greta, you must be new to the channel. Something I drink every day for the past 5 years on this program. It's a Starbucks Frappuccino. It's not really a Frappuccino. It's mostly coffee flavor with lots of milk. It's basically chocolate milk with caffeine and sugar in it. Yep, no news at the moment. Now, there is some news. Is there a red line crossed by Iran where Israel would consider? Yeah, the problem with taking out the Ayatollah is that's an escalation. Taking out military leaders is legitimate. I mean, they're legitimate targets. Oh, got you, Kathy. Me at the White House. Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. I haven't received any calls, so. I know, Greta, you look familiar, but I mean, people ask this question almost every show. It's when new people show up, so it's confusing why you asked it. Was it also not partly Mike Myers' influence? Who is Mike Myers? I have no idea who that is. Yes, and the MK wants to make military service obligatory, but the SANDF can't handle the number of recruits. It's a stupid idea. But MK is a stupid organization. It's not very bright. They fire their people every 5 minutes, so you can't trust them for a second. I do have a little bit of news here tonight. Let me see if I can find that. So I want to talk about this. So Egypt and Libya stop activists from gathering to march on Gaza, including apparently one of the grandsons of Mandela, I think I saw. Security sources say dozens have been detained or deported from Cairo airport and other locations. Authorities in both Egypt and Libya have stopped activists seeking to break Israel's blockade. Protest organizers have said the reports with more detentions, deportations taking place. 40 participants in the global march to Gaza have had their passports taken at a checkpoint on the way out of Cairo. They're being held in the heat and not allowed to move. Good. Adding another 15 to being held at hotels. They're from France, Spain, Canada, Turkey, and the United Kingdom. We are a peaceful movement, and we are complying with Egyptian law. What I'd suggest is drop them in. Put them on helicopters, fly into Gaza, and just leave them there. Take them there. And all the pro-Palestinian protesters in America that love Palestine so much, let's put them on a C-17, fly them to Gaza, and, give them parachutes and drop them out the back. And, hey, have at it, boys. Have fun storming the castle. Yeah, I think that's what we should do. We should do that. All these people are so in love. All these people that are so in love with Mexico that are burning American flags, that are waving Mexican flags and talking about the reconquista of the Southwest. I think we should, we should oblige them. Pick them up. I don't care if they're American citizens. Load them up onto prison transports and dump them in Guadalajara. Dump them in Baja California. And, confiscate whatever assets they have back here in America and use to pay down our debt. Yeah, sounds like a good plan to me. Gosh. Oh my gosh. My father and I spoke today about Operation, we can't exactly remember what it was, but we remember it was USA strike on either ISIS or something. I'm not sure which one you're talking about there. Milo, send them all to Queers for Palestine. That's right, man. Queers for Palestine. Yeah. Gays for Gaza. It's the Gays for Gaza crowd, folks. We're going to go to Gaza. We support all the people in Gaza because we know how friendly they are to homosexuals. We know how friendly Islam is to homosexuality. It's such a pro-homosexuality faith. It is. It really is. I mean, gosh, don't you know that if you're gay, the place to be is in Islam? You guys know that, right? Should we be concerned about Russia? No. Russia couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag. They can't defeat Ukraine. Ukraine doesn't even have an army. If it wasn't for the hundreds of billions of dollars that the West poured into Ukraine, it would have collapsed a long time ago. Yeah. But Israel and Libya blocking them. Egypt blocks activists. Ooh, it's so terrible. It's so terrible. Egypt blocks activists aiming to march to Gaza draw attention to the humanitarian crisis. Yep. Reporting from Rabat, Sam Metz says Egypt blocked activists planning to take part in a march to Gaza, halting their attempt to reach the border and challenge Israel blockade. Saif Abu Kishek, one of the activists organizing the march, said about 200 activists, mostly Algerians and Moroccans, were detained or deported. Hey, you could send them with Greta Thunberg. Send her out there too. Thousands head to Egypt. Oh, my goodness. Look at these idiots. Look at these idiots. People wave Palestinian flags as participants in the global march to Gaza. Isn't it interesting to watch people wave flags for a non-existent country? We might as well wag Narnia flags. Oh, I'll get a national flag. Let me get a national. I'll make up a national flag. Here we go. I mean, since Palestine doesn't exist as a country, we might as well do rainbows. Well, I mean, you know, if we're going to have Palestine, we're going to make up countries. We'll just make up a flag for our rainbow and unicorn country. There we go, folks. See, I got unicorns here. Unicorns, yeah. And here's our flag. Yay. Yay. Oh, it's Narnia. It's Narnia. Yes. Free Narnia. Free Narnia. Evil white people are oppressing Narnians. Stop oppression against unicorns. Just because unicorns have a constant erection, it's unfair to persecute them. Whoops, dude, you're crooked. Stand upright. There we go. Be nice to unicorns. Narnia. Narnia. Free Narnia. Evil white people. Those nasty Jewish people. Free Narnia. Yay. Free Narnia. Yay. See my little lion? It's the Lou. It's the Lou. Woo. Oh, dear God. Did you see that at midnight? Liam Jacobs left the A and joined the EPA? No idea who that is. Pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows. That's right, folks. It's time to invade. Get the popcorn out. Hey, Legion, what's going on? Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Wakanda, save Gaza. The legions of Wakanda descend upon Israel, taking out the evil Israeli Defense Force as it persecutes the wonderful Hamas humanitarians. The march puts Egypt in an awkward position as it tries to balance ties with Israel and the U.S. against public condemnation of the war.
I have to say very bluntly that it's profit over people. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with actually feeding the people of Gaza. And that is what is absolutely devastating. This is a private firm that was contracted with potentially Israeli intelligence involvement, and that is not feeding the people. And not only that, it is killing the people. We've seen with our own eyes.
It is killing the people. The company, the private company is killing the people. They're forced to eat the dogs and cats. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Oh my goodness. Say it ain't so, Joe. What's going on? I'm able to video. Why can't you load the video, man? What's up with that? What's up with that, CNN? I want to watch the video. Oh, there we go. Breaking news.
And you can see here, this missile here.
Ooh, there's a missile on the ground.
Right behind me, lying in the road here.
Check
it's
this
still
out.
Smoking. This came down. This
Dude,
is
it's going to
the
explode.
latest salvo
This guy's going to blow up.
Iranian missiles intercepted. Not clear if this is an intercept missile or one of the Iranian missiles. Still smoking in the road here.
What a moron. Did you see that?
Unbelievable. Again, that was Nick Roberts.
Nick Roberts, what a moron. He's standing next to an unexploded missile that's smoking. Stupid people should wear signs. That way you wouldn't ask me anything. Hey, Nick. God.
Missile threat to Israel. And as we achieve our objectives, we're also...
Joining me now is Aaron David Miller, former State Department, Middle East...
Nah, we don't want Aaron David Miller. Yeah, once again, another CNN host that's non-white in the country is 75% white. I've never seen a white host on there. I think Anderson Cooper's the only one. Wasn't he on CNN? But he's gay. So, I mean, he checks a minority block. Yeah, maybe it's CNN's missile. I was picturing that missile laying on the ground with smoke coming out of it and Hadidas flying around. Speaking of which, oh my gosh, I recorded a video this morning and a bird really torqued me off this morning, just on the roof of my house, making so much noise. It's so loud. Are there any moderators? Why? Do you want something? Please remove the world map behind you and put the old sack full of people who will lose their minds. Yeah, they will. I'll probably have charges filed against me if I did that. Yeah, Netanyahu urges Iranians to stand up for their freedom. Ooh, man. These things are blown up before they hit the ground, so I wonder if they're... Oh, okay. These are Iranian missiles, and I can see them being blown up in the sky, which means that the Iron Dome took most of them out. I see one of them actually hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, about 8 of them taken out in the air. Your thought on the French Foreign Legion? I was about to leave to go join it to get outside, but then the refugee program came out. Well, it's a tough road to hoe. The French Foreign Legion is a tough outfit. Hey, Sedgefield, what's going on? Yeah. So there you have it, folks. Yeah. So this guy from CNN said, like, there's a missile here laying on the ground. It's smoke's still coming out of it. I'm going to stand here and wait for it to explode. Stupid people should wear signs. Hey, listen, Nick, I want to ask. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see your sign. Stupid people should wear signs, man. What started 15 minutes ago? Whenever I'm drinking or smoking, I want some too. I had to go check them. I meant Jimmy Carter, not... Well, Jimmy Carter is... Jimmy Charter? You mean Jimmy Carter. That's a far cry from Mike Meares. You wouldn't be out of place in a No Kings demonstration with your unicorns and my Narnia flag. Free Narnia! Wakanda will save Gaza. The stream had 5 begun. That's correct. That's not 15 minutes ago. It's 37 minutes ago, Pats. Your stream. No, my stream started 37 minutes ago. What are you talking about? Talking about 15 minutes ago. No, I started 37 minutes ago. Where are you guys getting your math from? Are you watching this in the past? It started at 5 a.m. 11 o'clock my time, guys. Oh my goodness. This size, roughly 24-inch diameter. You looked and get roughly a 1-ton payload. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm standing here beside a mostly peaceful Iranian missile laying on the road. CNN, I love it. Oh, CNN, what a bunch of dorks, man. We're standing here in Judea next to a mostly peaceful Iranian missile. It's still smoking. Let me get closer and see what's going on. Oh my gosh. CNN, they are nothing if not entertaining. I have to say that much. Good Lord. Oh my goodness. It's been a very long night. Been awake for 28 hours. Name gets a bit blurry, but it's been very entertaining. Well, Primal Bird, why have you been awake so long, man? Never a dull moment, Emerency. You are right about that. Let's see what the Associated Press has to say about what's going on. But I have some things here. Let me see. Tel Aviv was hit by missiles tonight, folks. Yeah, the Iranians hit, but a lot of them got blown up. Here's Tel Aviv, man, and you can see the systems coming up to take out the missiles. Now that one's going to get through. Oh, that one got 2 got through. Two got through. 3. Yeah, folks, this is here's some more. That's one taken out.
زندگی برای اونها تلخ خواهد شد بدون تردید.
Evil incarnate.
فکر نکنند که زدند و تمام شد.
Oh, it's not over, buddy. 14 more days of misery coming your way.
کار رو اونها شروع کردند و جنگ به راه انداختند.
No, they didn't start this war. It was a lie. That's one that got through. Yeah, so, no, Israel didn't start this war. Have you forgotten your little egghead pinhead there, Khamenei? You fired 180 missiles at civilian targets in October of last year. Yeah, the hypersonic ones. Could be. But Iran doesn't have many of them, so they shot their wad already. Israel attacks Iran. What we know so far, says Al Jazeera. Iranian Supreme Leader moron Ali Khamenei has warned that Israel faces a bitter and painful fate. Well, dude, keep running your yap. I notice your friends in the Thule house have been pretty quiet. The semi-official state media group, the Iranian Fars news agency, reported unofficial statistics showing that more than 70 people have been killed, 320 were injured in the attacks. So, Israel has attacked Tehran, military sites in the surrounding area, the city of Natanz, city of Tabriz, city of Isfahan, Iraq, Kermanshah, all places. Yep. Wow. Oh, boy. So, Iran strikes back. Let's check this one out here.
Fires burned inside buildings in Tel Aviv, and explosions were heard in Jerusalem after Iran launched retaliatory airstrikes at Israel.
Dude can't even speak English. Retaliatory. Can't even say the word properly. Yeah, Israel's military said Iran fired fewer than 100 missiles and most were intercepted or fell short. U.S. military helped shoot down Iranian missiles headed for Israel, according to U.S. officials. Iran's Channel 12 said that 2 people were critically injured, 8 moderately, and 34 slightly from shrapnel. Several buildings were struck in the attack, including an apartment block in a residential neighborhood of Ramat Khan near Tel Aviv. Another building was hit in central Tel Aviv as the Iranians indiscriminately fire missiles in war criminal acts. Yeah, the Iron Dome is working. Good morning, Louis. You just disappeared there. What happened to you? Maddie has to start work. What news? The smoking missile journalist. Oh, from CNN. Exactly. There's already a document from the Department entitled Internment and Resettlement Operations, February 2010. Yeah, that's an updated document. We've been doing that since the Second World War. What's your point, Holden? What's your point? Are you not familiar with the history of the Second World War in which 13 million Germans were expelled from their ancient homes in Silesia, Pomerania, East Prussia, the Sudetenland, Yugoslavia, the Banat region, from Hungary, from Romania? Yeah, 13 million ethnic Germans evicted, 4 million murdered along the way. Yeah, internment and resettlement been happening for years. The U.S. Army has been involved in these operations in every major conflict. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's your point about a manual February 2010? It's probably publicly available from the government printing office. Brett Sessom just gave $2 super chat. Thank you, Brett. This is the first super chat of the evening. Was that out of 100 missiles? Yeah, 97 wasted. Yep. Odin's Vikings, welcome to you, Brett. Iran has threatened Israel for decades. Israel has every right to defend itself. Well, not only that, they actually attacked them last year in October of last year. Yeah, no, can see on the size the explosion damaged the building. Payloads are not much significance to really do much damage. Morning, Chris Terps. Will this go nuclear? No, Rick, that's the point. That's why they attacked Iran, to stop them from becoming nuclear. They got to them before they had nuclear weapons. Saturation missile attack from all directions will allow some missiles to get through. Yeah. Will Cyril send any fighter jets to assist Iran? Yeah, well, they've got 2 operational Gripens and 1 pilot qualified to fly them. Can't believe how many people support lean. Lean? What's lean? Shannon, what's going on? Been a busy work week. It's only catching up now. Hope you're well. Has South African government say anything? Nope. They have no. I did a video on it. Just released it a short while ago. They've had nothing to say. They're finally Cyril's not running around telling jokes about Natalie. Dim the lights. He thinks that's funny. Insulting Trump. No. They have 2 Gripens that are operational, but 1 pilot. Guy can't fly 2 planes. Chris Harris, some things did get in. We saw the missiles land in Tel Aviv. You mentioned relocating people to sunny Baja. Exactly, Holden. Oh, that, okay, gotcha. That's why you mentioned it. He's saying there's an Army manual for it. Yeah, I don't need a manual. I know how to do it. Gotcha. Now I know where you're coming from, Holden. Yeah. In 2 months, the Iranian regime will no longer exist. I think you're right. Storm, hello to you. Can we send Naledi Pandor? I think we should send Naledi Pandor as a human shield to Tehran. She'd be so happy there. Blue sky. Oh, support Iran. Gotcha. Well, it says lean. It's just a typo there. Yeah, just a typo. No worries. That Air India flight, someone actually survived that. It's a true story. It wasn't fake news that someone survived that. Crazy stuff there, folks. Free Narnia. We got a free Narnia, man. Somebody's got a free Narnia. Gays for Gaza. Yay. Gays for Gaza. They make gay people look stupid, and gay people aren't stupid. They tend to be highly successful, the people that I've known who are gay. So, this Gays for Gaza retardedness is making people look stupid. Thoughts on the Shah and his rule in Iran? The Shah had some problems, but by and large, he wasn't a bad guy. Thank you for the $2 super chat. And a $5 super chat. I think the Shah did lots of good things. The women's rights, yep. Economy was great. Yeah, religious freedom, yep. Jews were fine in Iran. Sitting in Finland, wow. Filming Cubs, so very little sleep. That's what you're doing. You're in Finland. What are you doing in Finland, Primal Boar? We have a Finnish viewer who's gone AWOL on us. He hasn't been around in ages. Can we send the, okay, Durko did release a statement on Israel right after the first strike. Didn't see that. Let me go, where did they release it at? On X? DIRCO, Durko. Let's see what they got. I looked there yesterday. I didn't see anything. India? No, there's no statement on their Twitter account. Nothing. So where'd they release that? Let's go to the South African government. Durko, South Africa. Home? Let's see, maybe it's here. Come on, a little faster. News and events. News. Media statements. Okay. Oh, they did condemn it. You're right. There it is. I'll be darned. I did. South Africa expresses profound concern regarding the attacks conducted by Israel on targets within Iran. These actions raise serious concerns on international law. No, actually, they don't. Including principles of sovereignty, territorial integrity, and protection of civilians. Well, I think South Africa's case to the International Court of Justice raises serious concerns about South Africa's meddling in international law, sovereignty, territorial integrity of Israel. Yep. Anyway. So, Crispin Peary. All right, well, the politicians have said nothing, so my video is still valid. Yep. I haven't seen a joking atheist in a long time, Kevin. Kind of glad the U.S., it seems, are not completely bogged down there, so their hands are not tied to help elsewhere. We should send Julius to Iran. Lynette knows all the super rich guys. Really? Can you introduce me to some of them? Oh, you mean the gay guys? Story of Poitka and Finnish versus Russia, and the song used to jam minds. Interesting. I don't think anybody knows what you're talking about, Pats. Thank you, Sean Nadir, for that. The thing with prophecy is that people throughout history doing the same mistakes. There's a lot of, yeah. GB, hello to you. All right. So that was that. Back to this. U.S. Marines have arrested a civilian, detained a civilian. Wow. First instance. So it made the news in The Guardian. So desperate to rubbish America, The Guardian. The civilian who was detained identified himself as Marcos Leal, an Army veteran, said he was treated very fairly. U.S. Marines deployed to Los Angeles temporarily detained a civilian. Marines took charge of a Wilshire federal building early on Friday in a rare domestic use of U.S. troops after days of protest over immigration raids. Reuters images showed Marines apprehending a civilian, restraining his hands with zip ties, and handing him over to civilians from the Department of Homeland Security. Asked about the incident, military's Northern Command spokesperson said active duty forces may temporarily detain an individual in specific circumstances. Any temporary detention ends immediately when the individual can be safely transferred to the custody of appropriate civilian law enforcement. Yep. 200 U.S. Marines arrived in Los Angeles Friday morning. This followed Trump's extraordinary decision to deploy National Guard troops. Marines were to take over protecting a federal building. U.S. Army Major General Scott Sherman, who commands the task force of Marines and National Guardsmen, said. Yep. The civilian who's detained spoke to reporters after release, identified himself as Marcos Leo, a 27-year-old Army veteran who was on his way to the Department of Veterans Affairs when he crossed a taped-off area and was asked to stop. Leo, who gained his citizenship through military service, said he was treated very fairly. They're just doing their jobs. He's Angolan Portuguese descent. Sporadic demonstrations have taken place. So I don't know why he was being detained unless he just ignored the tape going to the VA. Who was the oak that used to trigger a rant? Cameron? Ian Cameron? I'm not a garden boy. Is that what you're talking about? My husband was in the Air Force in the 80s, and he's incredulous to degradation. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Good morning, GB. Definitely look it up. It's such a beautiful part of war history. Okay. I don't know which war you're talking about. I know the Winter War and the Continuation War. I'm kind of a historian on those two topics. Send in the commandos. Had dental surgery, Brett. Oh, Crown's headed to bed. Oh, okay. Brett, thanks for the super chats. Crowns don't hurt. You should be feeling fine. Cyril's not resigned from position. No, that's fake news. That's fake news. So here's some of the Israeli strikes from the Wall Street Journal. Israel says it did significant damage to Iran's biggest enrichment site. There it is right there. That's Natanz facility. Israel repeatedly struck Iran's largest enrichment site at Natanz, but the extent of the damage to the country's nuclear program or Iran's ability to race secretly toward a nuclear program isn't clear. Yeah. Here are the hits. Damaged structures at Natanz. Oof, obliterated, man. Look at that. Wow. Israel did more than just hit the nuclear facilities. They went for their military leaders, too. There's General Salami, Hossein Salameh, commander of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard, was killed. Good riddance. Commander of Iran's feared Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Major General Hossein Salami, boasted Thursday that his country was ready to handle any Israeli attack. We are fully prepared for any scenario under any circumstances. Talk about bravado. That was Thursday. By dawn Friday, he was dead. Oops. Killed in what is shaping up to be a broad Israeli air campaign aimed not only at destroying Iran's capability, but ensuring the country is hobbled politically and militarily. It's an approach similar to the one Israel used employing to devastating effect against Hamas and Hezbollah. Yet where covert actions swiftly transition to high-power strikes with sophisticated weaponry. In the first hours of the attack, Israel said that it killed top military leaders, including senior members of the Revolutionary Guard and its Air Force, in an effort to disrupt Iran's chain of command, isolate the Ayatollah. Israel's military also said it did significant damage to the Natanz nuclear facility. Yep. In all, Israel carried out 5 waves of strikes with hundreds of warplanes early Friday, then resumed the attack in the afternoon. Man. Wow. It's pummeling them. Israel's attack likely won't prevent Iran from rebuilding its nuclear program, but it could help delay it to a point where the threat no longer becomes relevant. Yeah, I remember when Israel destroyed Iraq's nuclear plant back in 1981. I remember that. I was in high school. It was a stunning attack. Much of Iran's nuclear program remains intact after the strikes, at least for now, according to the New York Times. At a weak moment, Iran weighs difficult options responding to Israel. Well, they've got limited ability because Israel spanked them hard. Spanked them hard. Israel badly damaged one of the key nuclear sites and killed a startling array of top military nuclear officials. But when the sun rose after the devastating assault, it was also clear how much of Iran's nuclear program remained, at least for the moment. The Israeli strikes appear to have destroyed an above-ground nuclear fuel production site and electric supply centers at the largest uranium enrichment center. Killing some of the top nuclear scientists continues a long-running Israeli campaign targeting the expertise needed to build a bomb. But the first phase did not hit the most likely repository of Iran's near bomb-grade nuclear fuel, and that maybe had been deliberate. Yeah, they probably didn't want to set off radiation. Stored in a vast complex outside the ancient former capital of Isfahan. At a weak moment, Iran weighs its options. An aggressive counterattack risks escalation, but giving in to the U.S. and Israeli demands is an unlikely alternative. This is Tehran, Friday. Iran began launching missiles into Israel late Friday night, opening its counterattack. Beyond the strikes, they have a range of potential options, each with their own peril. Limiting or giving up its nuclear program would look like surrender. So they got to be careful there. Trump has been pushing Iran for months to give up its nuclear program, and it's refused. Israel crippled it in just 30 minutes. There's evil incarnate. Wars can go on for years, Kevin Morris. The war in the Congo has been going on for 30 years and hasn't stopped. Will Iran naval assets be targeted soon to prevent a blockade of the Strait? I don't know, Holden. If they try to do it, they'll be stopped, but I don't think they'll try it. Amelia, 2556, says, good morning. I'm okay. How about you? Lion Rising. Yep, well, that's the operation. Family history of my whole mouth have to have crowns. Gosh, sorry to hear that. Wow, sorry to hear that, Brett. Could you educate me on this? If a nuclear facility is bombed, why was the explosion in my mind that small and blast? Because simply hitting fissionable material doesn't cause it to explode. You've got to cause a reaction. So, yeah, there are no nuclear bombs there. They're just enriching the fissionable material. So, he has, Troiko. Has what? Dougie Ray, what's going on? Yeah, Jordan is having free fireworks, watching missiles fly both directions over their country. From Iran, from Israel. Yep. What did Troiko say or do here? Your grandfather and uncle were in the South. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Now I see. Yeah, this one's interesting. This Sky published this. I haven't talked about this because this is from Vera Shishni Pillay. She's acting foolish. Sky published it, so I'll retweet it. There we go. And give it a like. Silly, silly stuff on Twitter. Lockheed Martin Human Resources Director Lawanda Moorer, who demanded that managers remove whites from the year-end bonus list and replace them with lower-performing minorities, has deleted her LinkedIn account. Moron. Racist. Another racist in corporate America exposed. Lawanda. Another racist. This page doesn't exist. When they get exposed, they come down. Yep. Yeah, so Jaco Peterse, the principal of the Bergview College in the Eastern Cape, laid criminal injury charges against EFF's Julius Malema and Fikile Mabalu, the ANC and Education MEC Fundile Gadi. Yep, that's going to be exciting to see. And he's being assisted by AfriForum. Let's hear what he had to say.
First of all, I just want to say I'm very relieved that the truth did come out. And but I'm also determined to ensure that people know that they can't make any false and reckless statements on social media or the media.
And what has the impact been on this case, or rather the accusations that were placed on you and being branded as a child rapist in public?
It's life-changing. All aspects of my life has been affected. My professional career, personal life, physical, emotional. Yeah, it's just affected everything. Family life, yeah, your whole existence.
Being that you're still the principal of the college, have you experienced parents being concerned about the safety of learners in the school following the accusations?
There's been quite a few people who have expressed it, but the school has taken precautions, and I've not been back to school yet to perform my duties on site. So I've been doing it off site.
And when do you expect to go back to normal life?
Okay, sorry, we don't have answers on that.
Yeah, I can't answer. Yeah.
Do you guys want Afrikaans?
Yes. Yeah, so I'll do a story on that. I've ignored that story for a long time, but yeah, that's some really good news there.
First of all, I just want to say I'm very relieved.
Stop it. I'm trying to download this thing. It started. Yeah, it's very good news there that he's getting support, and it's good to see that he's going to go after these people who've committed these egregious, slanderous comments about him, destroying his life. People running around calling him a child molester and a rapist, unbelievable. And of course, that includes Julius Malema and Fikile Mbalula. So good. Yep. Wow. So good to see that he's going to go after these folks. Yep. So tomorrow is Flag Day. It's a national day to recognize our flag. It's also the Army's 250th birthday, and scumbags around the country are going around with their No Kings protests, and they're going to insult soldiers and insult the Army because they hate Trump, and do this on Flag Day. These are not Americans. These are treasonous bastards. This is not demonstrating. This is hateful hatred of America. Organizers in more than 2,000 cities are mobilizing for the No Kings rallies in opposition to President Trump and his military parade. They hate our military. These people are not true Americans. Not true Americans. Yep. Yep. The American Criminal Liberties Union, the American Federation of Teachers, Planned Parenthood, and Senator Bernie Sanders are planning protests. Dubbed No Kings Day, the demonstrations aim to reject what organizers say is Trump's overreach. Event leaders expect turnout to pass April's hands-off protest. Yeah. We want to take our flag back, says Sharon Harmon. Well, you can piss off, Sharon. Planning gained momentum after Trump deployed troops to Los Angeles. More than 200 New Kings events have emerged since the LA protests began. Yeah, we will see what happens, folks. We will see what happens. No one is illegal on stolen land. This isn't stolen land. Take your ass back to Mexico. Yep. Pats, you can't paste links because it's not allowed. You must be new to YouTube. YouTube doesn't allow people to post links in chat. The only people who can post a link in a chat are content creators and moderators. That's a YouTube rule. I have no control over that. Obviously, you're not very familiar with YouTube. Well, how does what remind you of Entebbe? I was at Entebbe. Swear him, DJ. Iran will free the world from this evil coup. What are you talking about? Bonsai has done a great video about the national dialogue. Be interested in your views on it. In a nutshell, it's the latest attempt to answer your went into the mess. Yeah, Shannon, it is an attempt to avoid accountability and also to run the clock out. This is what Cyril does all the time. It's a huge waste of money. It means nothing. They won't listen to anybody. There's plenty of national dialogues. Every time that the ANC comes up with a stupid law, they ask for public input, people respond, and then 90% of the people oppose it, and they simply ignore it. So national dialogue's a waste of time. Yes, that's the same one, Lena, who tried to get into the refugee group. She's also the same one that lied about the family in Montana that were doxxed by an American or a South African living in America. The Knights Templar couldn't complete their mission back in the 12th century. Perhaps this will complete the mission. Okay. Big question is, will the MPA have the balls? No, they won't arrest him. Yeah, finally finding back for you. Yep, Sean here, it sets a good example. Live your entire childhood in Sophiatown, okay? No, it's not illegal to damage U.S. flag. It's been upheld by the Supreme Court as an expression of free speech. It's crazy. But Americans have gotten arrested for burning the gay pride flag. Wow. think there's probably just be a lot of. Hey Dan, how's it going, man? At what point do you label all these upcoming events irregular warfare? Well, that's a good question. I mean, if there's no violence involved here, if it's just propaganda, it's a propaganda war. It's an information war. But yeah, my ancestor Samuel Gill was a sergeant in the American militia, and his remembrance stone still exists to this day. Well, that's pretty cool, Alan. That's pretty cool. Yep, I have 8 great-great-grandfathers during the Civil War. One was too old, but 7 of them served, and every single one of them served in Union regiments. Whether they were from Virginia or from Maryland, they all served in Union regiments. Yep. Exactly, Diane Foster. If the Hispanics, who do they think invaded the land that they now burn the flag? Yeah, the Spanish did. Left has lost their appeal. They will lose the next election by a landslide. Agreed, Blue Sky. Agreed. Mike's here. Happy birthday, President Trump. Happy birthday to the U.S. Army. Happy Flag Day. Yeah, it's a big day. It's a big day, folks. Yep, Flag Day tomorrow. Flag Day and the Army's birthday, ladies and gentlemen. My Army. My Army. Yeah, that's right. Let me just get something up here on the screen real quick. I'll do it this way. Come over here. Have a little fun. I don't have a lot of photos of me in uniform. I don't do a lot of that, but let's take a look at this. Okay, this isn't the one I want. I need to switch to that account. There we go. Now I'm at that account. Okay. Okay, Chris Army. Okay, let's see what he got here. Okay, show you some pictures of me in the Army. You guys ready for this? You ready to be bored? Here we go. 1983, Christmas, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Yep, we had an army before we had a country. And my dress greens. No ribbons. Hadn't earned a ribbon yet. Basic training. Same place with my roommate, Ed, with our M16s. Bosnia, 1998, with an NCO. That's over Tuzla, or over Sarajevo. Bosnia. That's Vicenza, Italy. Adam Dottle, my civilian, giving him an award when I was commander there. That's 1985 or 86, 1986. The 8th Infantry Division Color Guard. I was a sergeant. That's Gelnhausen, Germany. I was a 2nd lieutenant there, or a 1st lieutenant. I can't remember. Yeah. That's also there, 2nd lieutenant. That's after the Gulf War. We opened up a crate of stuff that came back from Iraq, and someone was smuggling weapons. It wasn't our crate. It was supposed to go to Fort Hood. So these are the weapons that were stuck into a crate illegally. I was a 2nd lieutenant after the war. Gelnhausen, Rose Barracks. And that's my office in Vicenza when I was a commander. Oh, that's a little one again. This is in Saudi Arabia after the war was over, the day that I flew home. Basic or advanced individual training for Signal Corps. That's 1984, Fort Gordon, Georgia, with Barry, my friend. Look at that equipment we used for all those cables for those radios. It was so complicated. That's the ANGRC 50 radio, those big radios there. That's the older one, and the newer one, which was still 30 years old, we used. That's the ANGRC 103, which is inside that van. That's some of my friends there. Gron is the guy with his chin strap off, and then Sergeant Evans, and then myself. That's on Reforge, Return of Force to Germany, in near Kreilsheim in 1984. That's Vicenza, 1997, when I became commander. That's the 2-star general in charge of the United States Southern European Task Force, who was there for my change of command ceremony. That's 1985 with my friend Mike Walton, who was from Philadelphia, in Germany at the barracks. And those shorts are shorts that I was given in high school that were too big for me, carrying my jeans here. And that's the barracks on Rose Barracks there. That's 1984 after my AIT outside the American Legion in Junction City, Ohio. That's 1986, rehearsing for the color guard at the airfield in Bad Kreuznach, Marshal Kaserne. That's on Reforger. I was opening mail up. I think it was a letter from my mother. Look at the boombox in the background. See the boombox? You can tell I've been in the field for a while. My hair is filthy and I got a zit on my face. That's Grosser Feldberg. That's the television retransmission tower up on the top of a mountain above Frankfurt. And that's Charlie 212, my rig, a M880 Dodge pickup truck with a communication shelter on the back, camouflage netting on the top. And that's me sitting there, just put my arms up in the air, eating and relaxing. This is the staff of the 3rd Battalion, 8th Cavalry before we started the war in Saudi Arabia. You see the Air Force guys are wearing tan camouflage. The rest of us are still wearing green. I'm on the right holding a T-shirt up. That's I was a major right after I arrived in Monrovia, Liberia, and my armored camouflage uniform. That's 2007 right there. This is with General Ward. It's 2008 when I was a lieutenant colonel before I went to Botswana. Did my office calls in Stuttgart with the Africa Command, General Ward. That's me in 2009, I think it was, over the Okavango Delta in a Botswana Defense Force helicopter, surveying the anti-poaching operations. One of my favorite photos. That's the Army War College, my student photo when I first arrived. That's when I came back from the Gulf War, the night I came back. This is with the Minister of Defense, Brownie Samakai, in Monrovia, Liberia, at the 4th of July celebration. That's me when I played for the Springboks. No, that was a Tri-Nations match at Ellis Park in 2013, I think it was. That's the match where Brian Habana pulled a hamstring after scoring 2 tries. One of the I think ABSA or somebody like that sponsored these photos, and they put it there and printed it out. So I was wearing a Springboks jersey, so that's why it looks like I'm a Springboks player. That's the Cradle of Humankind. That's in Uganda. I was a full colonel there, HIV counseling place. This is from Major General Bolden, who was the commander, or not commander, but the director of NASA, former Marine pilot, and he gave me that Semper Fi, 2014. That's my War College class. I'm in the back by the red flag because I was tall. There's General Bolden. He was a short dude and his wife. There's me with a mustache. Look how it's ginger. See how light my hair is there? It wasn't dark. Yep, I was a captain there. A lot of awards ago. Let me see where this puts me at. Yeah, let me see how many more we got here. That's enough of that. Anyway, yep. Here's one I like. This is when I had some facial hair. This is when I left Germany in 1994. And this is the most facial hair I ever had. I was on leave for like a month and a half. That's at Fort Huachuca at the temporary lodging. Yep, right next to the Post Exchange. Look at that. All right, what else we got here? Caustic Chameleon was pregnant in 1986. Okay. I guess this hits, you know how time flies. Yes, Mike, it sure does. First Angola border tour, says Alan. You can clearly see the young man turning an officer gentleman, lots of experience. Hey, Amelia. Like an R1. Fort Gordon isn't far from my home, says Caustic Chameleon. Okay, yeah, Fort Gordon is nice. The Masters is at Augusta. You still keep in contact with the Army? No, Brethren, no. For the most part, not. No, I mean, I served in so many places for so long. Yeah, no, it's funny because I never ran into anybody that I went to basic training with ever again in the Army at any point, ever. And AIT, I ran into a couple people in Germany. This guy named Zaroslik. He went to Korea or something like that, then came to Germany into my unit next year, so I ran into him. And then a couple other guys that I knew from Germany. One joined the Ohio National Guard. We got out of the Army about the same time. I ran into him at Camp Grayling in Michigan, but that's it. Never saw anybody again from AIT. When I was in ROTC, I ran into a couple of my classmates early on. After the Gulf War, a lot of us deployed to the Gulf War. James Palm went to the Gulf War and a couple others, and I ran into them in Saudi Arabia after the war was over because we all survived, but just briefly. And then I hadn't heard from them again. I stayed in touch with James for a number of years, but haven't heard from him a long time. And then I ran into another guy that was in my class, but then didn't get commissioned, had to wait another year to get commissioned because of his grades. I ran into him in Bosnia about 10 years after I got commissioned, but that's it. No one else from... Other than, one guy, Tony Wright, who became a general officer in the Oklahoma National Guard after his active duty tour. Tony I ran into at the War College. He was in my War College class, but that's it. I almost never run into people. There's a few exceptions, but I mean, no, I don't really have Army buddies as such, so. Now, a few people in later years I've run into, like a gentleman who was a reservist who worked for me in Uganda. Really good guy. He's a State Department Foreign Service officer now, and I've gone to baseball games with him and linked up with him a few times. Yeah, good guy. Functions by radar. Would love my front porch. It's all red, white, blue all year. Wow, okay. Love to learn more about you, Colonel, says Lynette. Okay. G3 is the best we had, okay. I find it fun to learn about people and their lives. Awesome work history, amazing memories. You're welcome, Geese. I watched a video of guys buy military gear at the military access shops. It's amazing. Different camels. Only born 86. Lynette, 86. Wow, you're a pup. You're a pup. You're not even 40 yet. Going to say what most are thinking. Send platoons, brigades, the American Army, and force remove the ANC from power, says Graves. Kathy, Colonel, it's okay for me to do a slideshow with music using these photos of you in the Army. If you want, I suppose. Yeah, I think that Harrisburg's got something going on tomorrow, but I don't have time for it. We have the state convention for the VFW, and I've got to run down to that. So, yeah, I just don't have time for that. So, anyway, take a look at my albums here in this folder. I got to delete some stuff because it's huge. There's a lot of crap in here. Let me go back a ways. Go back when I was still in the Army here. I got to go back quite a ways for this one. There we go. 2019. 2019. There you go. Oh, Japan. Yeah. Yokohama. South Africa versus New Zealand. Let's see what we got there. You guys want to see those pictures? South Africa versus New Zealand. We lost that game. Thea will probably be on tomorrow, late tomorrow afternoon, here in the States. Okay, you guys want to see the? I'll put them up anyway. This is Yokohama. This was September 21st, 2019. Yokohama. It's the train station there. It was so cool. They did such a great job with the World Cup. Such a great job. A lot of Springbok fans you can see on the left-hand side there, walking down the street. And Starbucks. That was, look, they even put this on the sewer manhole covers. There you go. That's the stadium for Yokohama. It was huge. Japan was really good for the World Cup. Really good time. That was the World Cup winners there. 2 South Africa, 1 Australia, 2 Australia. Am I right? No. England, 3 All Blacks. We have no quarrel with Zambia. There you go. You see, I got there plenty early. There you go. That's a cool picture. That was my Springbok pass for the tournament. I like that because it had the Springboks. See that up in the top there? It's pretty cool. This was the fan park at Yokohama. There was another game going on back there. You can see the television screen. Canada. Wallabies. Namibia. It's really cool. Japan really went all out for this World Cup. It was brilliant. Pricey, but brilliant. So I got as many of them as I could. Broadcasting live from Yokohama, where the All Blacks will be taking on the Springboks here at 6:30, 6:45 this evening. I hated that jersey. Yokohama International Stadium, where the Springboks will be taking on the All Blacks here in just a short couple of hours away in the most anticipated game of the 2019 Rugby World Cup here in Japan. Crowds arriving quite early. Quite a group of folks here. Long lines to get in. Very long lines to buy merchandise, to buy beer, and to get the eats. Rugby World Cup 2019, Japan. Yeah, look at that. Already fancying myself as a broadcaster. I wasn't even doing this yet. It's before I was still in the Army on that day. So let me get out of that and see if there's any videos or anything like that. Come on. See if I have any videos here. If I record any videos. Mostly photos. Didn't do a lot of videos back then. All the players being announced. Let me see. Some pictures of the game here. Looking to see if there's anything there worth you guys want to see. So, oh, here's one. This is a try by the Springboks. Right there. Untouched. See the arm going up for the try. Yep, Bucks scored there. Moment of excitement, but they did, alas, lose that game. So, yep. 17-10 at that stage. Looking for another video here. I didn't do a lot of videos back then because I had a different phone. And it 63,000. So that would, no, that's 80,000 was the one at the Wembley. So 63,000 people at that game. Yep. Anyway, I just thought you guys might enjoy that. So there you go. Right. So how are we doing here? We haven't even hit 200 people on the stream once. Wow. People losing interest. Oh, do we do 223? My bad. Sedgefield says, back Ireland. Okay. All right. My best friend in life, when hubby was serving, we ended up living on the same bases twice. They retired in Illinois, so we did. It was so funny, loving all the photos. Thanks, Functions by Radar. Gorgeous under the beard, says Nicola. Loretta says, I can listen to your life stories for hours. Okay. You're welcome, Kathy. Mike's calling you tonight. I'm going to call tonight here shortly, too. Yeah, I've got to be up at a little bit after 6, so about 6 hours to get ready and then drive to Gettysburg for the state convention in the morning and to get back here by noon to do the URC championship. Please join me on Rugby Ascendant, folks. Please join me on Rugby Ascendant. All right? Really, that'll be awesome. Absolutely loved your early Army picks. Would have loved to take McMillan Career. Only got second lieutenant in my year and then ANC chopped up for. Sorry to hear that, Francois van Dyke. Military people are always full of stories. Drive safe. Yeah, but not everybody's a good storyteller. Some of us are very good storytellers. And yes, thank you for recognizing I did have the lion on for the Operation Lion here. This is from the Chicago Institute of Art. I was there a couple years ago. Be there for the rugby. Thank you, Nicola. I look forward to it. I'm getting excited. I'm fingers crossed that the Bulls can win. Gosh, I really hope they win. I want that second title for South Africa. It'd be so great to see. So great to see. All right, guys, hit the like button, and we'll catch you tomorrow. The news will come later after the rugby, maybe, depending on whether I'm going to have Thea on or not. And then Sunday we have the refugee chat again. I haven't set up yet, but we'll have refugee chat on Sunday, okay? Y'all take care. Thanks for being with me tonight. It's nighty-night time. Time for me to hit the rack as the war continues with Iran. Cheers. The interview with Thea will probably be live, yes. Probably be live, because we like to take questions. Cheers.